Going broad is the slowest game, but the most sustainable game. So winning on YouTube, for example, it's the hardest to get going because people don't know who you are yet. You got to build your brand. You got to get great message in front of the camera, get comfortable, all that kind of stuff. It just takes time to build the brand. Yeah. And a lot of people, they quit along the way because for that to become something that's financially feasible to support you, most people quit because they need to pay the bills. So that's why figuring out like how can we make money while we're building the brand is a lot more critical. So you can do it that I'm just gonna do coaching one-on-one and keep my 15 people or 20 people, whatever is sustainable inside your 4 hours a day, and then you have 2 hours to do other stuff, right? Build the brand. Or you can go coaching, group, and then build the brand. The more financial resources you have, the more you can invest in team to do a lot of this stuff to help you. The more it's you trying to figure everything else out, everything's gonna go slower.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because running a business is hard, and waking up every day and getting to work when you're all by yourself is hard. And the thing that saved me, that continues to inspire me, motivate me, give me hope, inspiration, ideas, is looking at the stories of people who've done a lot more than me. And I learn strategies, I get motivation, and it gets me to believe in myself to go off and attack the day. And so I hope this video inspires you to do the same as well. So today, let's learn from me and my team's take on my top 10 rules for success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is have self-awareness.
I was curious if you found yourself taking on personality traits of recklessness, you went way far on the other side and discernment was starting to get grayed, the lines were starting to get blurred. Has any of that ever crept into I know I don't want to live with regret, so I'm going to go all in on the other side?
I don't think that happens.
Okay.
There's planners and doers, and the planners need to do more and the doers need to plan more. But it's very rare that a planner just becomes a doer and stops planning.
Yeah.
Right? So there's people who just plan things for years and then they still don't do anything. And there's people who just take action, but they're all over the place, and tomorrow's a different action, the next is, and there's no plan or strategy, and they end up just running around in circles. Tons of action, but not moving anywhere. You're just running in a circle. And so I think I haven't really seen people move from one category to the other. But whatever category you're in, you need more of that other thing. People ask me about humility. It's well, you're humble and all this stuff. It's okay, well, I need more bravado. I would be doing my mission more service if I had a little more bravado and ego and look at me and chest thumping. It's taken me a long time to come out of my shell and even say yes to any interview. I've done enough of these now, but if this was 10 years ago, I would have said no. I would have said, no, Nicholas, or what are your questions? I need to know everything you're going to ask me because I'd be afraid of letting you down or letting your show down. And so I think whatever those personality traits are that you have, I haven't seen people completely move to the other side. And if anything, you need more of that in your life. So I would think most people need more of the let's not live with regret, because most people live with regret. And there's some few crazy people, might have a gene missing or something, who are just insanely reckless and don't care. And maybe they need a little more caution and planning and strategy, So it's the self-awareness to know what you need most.
Yeah, self-awareness definitely helps.
Rule number 3 is believe.
What is your superpower?
What is my superpower?
Yeah.
Believing in people.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I think whatever the thing is that... what's my biggest kryptonite? Believing in myself. The thing that you want to give to the world is also the thing that you need the most too. So now people say, well, you're the believe guy. How do you not believe in yourself? Well, I believe in myself to get here, to do everything that I've done. It's the next step. The next level of Evan Carmichael is on the other side of even more belief. And as I learn and improve and grow and figure out some new strategies, I'm going to then share it with my audience as well. Rule number 4, develop an interest in AI. The AI tools are incredible.
Yeah.
So if you're not interested in AI and you're not applying it to your business and not following along, you're losing. Everybody needs to figure out AI in their business, 100%. It's getting better by leaps and bounds, every week. There's some new tool, there's some new thing you can do. It's crazy. We've already accidentally posted a video of me on my channel. My wife thought it was me and she posted it to my Instagram. And it wasn't
Wow.
me. It wasn't my video. It wasn't my voice. It wasn't my script. And my team was just playing around with it and sent it to us as a, hey, here's a demo. And she thought it was something that needed to be posted. So she posted it
What?
already. And like, it's only going to get worse and crazier and more authentic and more real. Like I could watch and say, that's not me, but I thought there's no way, like people will know. But if it fooled my wife already, then it's going to fool everybody.
Wow.
Right?
And was that software, or it was they put everything together from different AIs?
It was different. There's the video AI, and then there's the script AI. It was like GPT to write the video, like to write the script, like write a script about belief in the voice of Evan Carmichael. And then it pops something up, right? And then 11 Labs to train the audio to actually have it sound like me. And I've trained my voice, right? So we've done the recordings and we have all the samples. So we've trained my voice. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but I'm playing with it. Like you have to play with it. So train my voice. The video one, I don't remember which. We're playing with around a bunch of video tools. So I don't remember which video tool we use to make it happen. But yeah, like we posted it. And
Wow.
then I had to go back and say, "Oh, this is AI, Evan." You know, but it's only going to get better. But this is where NFTs come in. This is where why it's so valuable, because that still requires a lot of it's GPT plus 11 Labs plus whatever video tool, you know, then to make it into an Instagram video. Like it's a lot of mess to figure all that out. That's all going to go away. Just like NFTs, it's hard to set up a wallet and figure out Ethereum and buy it and get it. Like it's hard, but that's going to all go away. That's going to be the default, right? It's going to be easy in the future to make that happen. Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is establish emotional connections.
I've heard you discuss that 80% of the content system is getting people to have an emotional reaction to what you create. What strategies do you have in place to ensure your audience has an emotional connection with your content?
You need to have an emotional connection to the content. So you do an interview show. Like how many of these have you done on this channel?
We're approaching 171 about?
171 interviews? Okay, so like if you're going to do interviews, you better like doing interviews.
Yeah, amen.
Because you're going to be 171 interviews in and then hate your life. So for people like, I'm going to start a podcast. Cool. But you better like talking to people. Even if you're like, I'm introverted, I'm shy, it's not natural or normal, but I like serving. And so this is one of the ways to do it. But if you're doing it just as a strategy, you're going to lose. You have to actually be curious about people. And then you have to bring on guests who you actually care about. Right? So if you brought on a guest who like you love their story and you love something that they've done, then that's going to light you up. And if it lights you up, it'll light up the audience. Versus if they're on just for a strategy, you know, if it's like, I'm going to bring on somebody to talk about passive income because it's trending, but like you don't care about passive income.
Right.
Then it's going to be the most boring, maybe you do, I don't know, but it'd be the most boring interview, you know, of all time. And so the key is making content that you deeply connect with, that you get super excited by, and your energy will create energy for the people watching. Like, oh my God, this guy's so excited by it. I'm going to get into it too. Rule number 6 is focus on learning.
I love how fascinated you are to just learn and take what you like from different people and then apply it and so forth. And you'll never, not that you need to worry about this, but you'll never get stale or dull or repeat yourself too much because you're constantly learning and applying and then giving back. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. I mean, there's a lot in there. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Really, I'm just making videos and content and having guests on and being guests on shows that I'm curious about. You know, I love being on with you. Like you came to me through Dave and Dave's like, hey, I got this new guy I'm working with, Craig. can you hop on an IG live together? Right? I didn't know who you were, but it's Dave. So like, okay, happy to do it. Right? And then like we're back for round 2 because round 1 was so good. Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not as strategic of I need to do this person because it's going to help me grow my channel. It's more, what do I want to learn? If I just wanted to grow, I should go negative. If I did the top 10 stupidest things Kanye has said, that'd be fire. People would love that stuff, right? But I'm trying to spread, it would make me feel gross because I want to create optimism and belief and hope for people. Rule number 7 is study NFTs. We often judge ideas too early. You look at the NFT market, right? NFTs are going to the moon. It's amazing. You know, Bored Ape, CryptoPunk, let's go. Like WAGMI, you know, all of this, right? And then, you know, that was the hopium at the time. And now it crashed, and you know, a lot of people are negative. But this isn't the final. NFTs are going to happen. Everybody will have a wallet. Everybody will have it, whether we even call them NFTs or something else in the future. Like the blockchain is undeniable. It will happen. Everything will be on the blockchain. Everything we do will be on the blockchain. So what we see right now, as much as there's pessimism and negativity, this is not the final thing. And so I look at the same thing with the verification system. They're looking for ways to make money, and they're looking for ways to combat a lot of the fake and the copycat account. Yeah. But this is not an elegant solution either. What they've done is not elegant. And so it will be fixed. And somebody will fix it, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Elon Musk again, whether it's some new social media site that pops up, comes out of nowhere, you know, whether it's, you look at how quickly GPT came out of nowhere and just popped hard. Like maybe that's the next social network that pops hard and figures out verification as well. So I don't want to judge. Is it great? No, but I'm also judging an unfinished product. It's like if you gave me your book that's half written and said, Andre, it's like, this is not very good. Well, it's half written, so we can't judge it. Yeah. Something else will come from it. I don't know who solves the problem, but somebody will solve that problem. Rule number 8 is learn to deal with criticisms.
Give us a definition of what is a little man and how you define that, and maybe how you manage to, you know, ignore it, defy it as you were growing your business and your channel.
Sure. So the little man is the hater in your life. It's the person who's telling you that you can't do it, pointing out all the reasons why your next podcast is not going to work, or your big book, or whatever your dream is, all the reasons why it's not going to work out. And often those are real people in our lives. Maybe it's our parents, our friends, our guidance counselor, our boss, you know, people in our community. And often it's ourselves. You know, the enemy is the enemy, right? Like you are your own enemy. And so oftentimes we have great big ideas that we're excited by. And then how often do we talk ourselves down from those big ideas after you sleep on it? And the next day you wake up like, oh, I can't do that. Nobody will listen to me on. But before you even tell anybody else, it's your own inner little man that is holding you back. So that's the little man. And rule number 7, it's there because it's one of the most consistent things that come up with big entrepreneurs and dreamers. You're doing something that is crazy, that is bold, that has never been done before. And whenever you do that, you know, if you're a change maker, you're doing things that have never been done before. And so you're going to get criticism. You're going to get heat, both from the outside world and the inside world. And so the 2 things that I find really help me personally with that, one is just being around people who have to deal with criticism a lot and see how they react, I think is valuable. I think, as an example, if you want to get more confident, better than reading a book on 8 ways to get more confident, start hanging around confident people. If you do that, their mindsets, their beliefs, their attitudes will rub off on you. Like if you want to be a change maker, better than just downloading some PDF with 8 different ways on how to be a change maker, hang around Jay. Like he is a change maker. Just by hanging around him, almost regardless of what he's talking about, it's going to inspire some change within you. And the more you hang around Jay and guys like Jay, the more you listen to this podcast, then the more you're going to just be willed into making change for yourself. Just like if you're hanging around negative people all day long, you're going to become negative. You're going to complain more. Or if you're hanging around big game-changing people, you're going to start gravitating towards that, right? It's a concept of you are your best, closest friends around you. Right. So that's one. So if you want to avoid the little man or learn how to ignore him, then you need to be around people who are dealing with big things and dealing with criticism. And chances are those aren't currently the people in your life. They're other people. So for me, that's where I get it from the book. I get it from the videos, seeing how somebody reacts to criticism, say, that's interesting. I would have taken that more critically, or I would have been hurt by that, and seeing how they do it. If you do that consistently, it'll rub off on you.
Rule number 9 is pay attention to your energy.
Try to pay attention to the micro moments where you're feeling like something's not great. So we had our first session on Instagram Live. It was great. Your team messages me for round 2. Like, yeah, let's go. Round 2 with Craig, down, right? But if you have somebody else, if somebody on your team who is bringing you down for one day, it's like, okay, that's interesting. If it happens a second day or second week, you're like, maybe it's worth talking and seeing what's going on. If it keeps happening, like maybe that person shouldn't be in your life.
Yeah.
And so it's constantly paying attention to the things that give you energy and take away. It's really just about energy management than anything else. You're talking about balance, like pay attention to your energy and do more of the things and be around more of the people that give you energy. And my work gives me energy. I'm leaving with more energy with this interview than I came in.
Same.
Right? So like this didn't deplete me. It filled me up. This is great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And like we want to strive to do more things that give us energy as opposed to deplete. And that applies to your relationships, your work, your sleep, your fitness routine, your food, all of it. Does it give you more energy or does it take away?
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is take action.
How long were you thinking about inviting me on before you invited me on?
It's a great question. I've been mulling on it for a long time. This is our mutual connection. I interviewed Kevin Palmieri, who is from the Next Level University, and you've been on their show twice.
Okay.
So since I got in contact with him and he spoke so highly of you, that's how long. So 6 months, 7 months.
I mean, I don't think I even looked at your channel or what you're about or whatever. It was just your message and I decided. So I would have said yes 7 months ago.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
It's about taking action, jumping right into it.
So you never know. Like this is the thing. And whether it's as big as I might regret this in the future if I don't say yes or ask or whatever, it's also just a mulling things over. Now, again, kudos to you for then deciding to do it, because a lot of people then never do it. They never reach out. They never ask. They never start that business. They never write the book. They never, whatever the thing is that they want to do. A lot of people 7 months later have already told themselves why they can't do that thing. And so you then, congratulations, like you did it. And here we are. And I might have said no, or I might have ignored you, or said, I hate anybody named Nicholas. Like you never know.
Yeah,
like you never know
true.
When you send something, what the reaction is going to be. Happiness comes down to fulfillment versus excitement. When people ask me, hey, Evan, how do you define happiness? This is one of the most common questions I get asked when I'm doing interviews and podcasts and such. What does happiness look like to you? Well, happiness is fulfillment and excitement, because it's a very interesting word. So let's break it down. Fulfillment is feeling like what you do matters. You're happy when you feel like what you do matters. You're happy when you feel like you wake up today and today is going to matter. This is what we all want. We all want to feel like what we're going to do today is going to have an impact on somebody else's life. We are all built to serve. You want to feel important to somebody else, not just from a ego perspective that, oh, I matter and I'm important, but in a way that you contributed to somebody else's life. We're all connected. We want to feel connected. We want to feel like this is going to matter today, that this video that I make for you, even though I'm here just in the car by myself. Well, Nina's back there. Hello, Nina. Even though I'm just here filming by myself in the car, I want to feel like this video is touching somebody. It's touching you, that you guys are watching it, and hopefully the message here is going to be inspiring and helpful to you in some way. We all want that. That's fulfillment, right? If you wake up too many days in a row and you feel like today doesn't matter, nobody cares if I show up, nobody cares if I do a good job or not, nobody cares. That's a fast path to depression and worst case suicide, right? That's where a lot of people, unfortunately, are living right now, is they don't feel like they matter. They're not happy because there's no fulfillment. They're not happy because they feel like they don't matter to anybody. So that's fulfillment. The other side of happiness is excitement. You're happy when you feel like you're doing something new. You're happy when you get to try something new. You get to have fun. You get to do something that hasn't been done before. You're going out of your comfort zone, or you're having this quick hit, right? I mean, it could be anything from I'm excited to have my coffee. I'm excited to have my Starbucks. When we go once a week to film, we get a Starbucks, put some cream in, and I'm excited for the taste, right? You could be excited for that donut or that meal. It may not even be good for you. The donut's not good for you, but you're still excited to have it because it tastes so good. You're chasing this little momentary high. Or you could be excited to go on that vacation. You're excited, just something new. It's a moment in time. It's the candy, it's the sweets, right? And it's the sweets of life. It's not sustainable, but it's not designed to be sustainable. It's these little moments in time that make us happy. And that's true too, but that's why it's excitement. Jumping from an airplane, it's exciting. It's not sustainable. You're not gonna show up every day and fall from the airplane all day long, right? And so I think where a lot of people struggle, a lot of entrepreneurs especially, is we're chasing the excitement only. You're chasing what it's going to feel like when you hit your goal, when you have 1 million subscribers or 1 million in revenue or whatever success looks like to you. Well, what we're missing is the fulfillment part of it. So there's nothing wrong with chasing those goals. There's nothing wrong with having that caffeine high, that sugar rush, that, hey, I hit my goal, amazing. There's nothing wrong with it. But if that's all there is, you need the meal. Right? If that's all there is, you're never actually going to be happy because those are just moments in time. That you get excited today if that something happened, and then you might wait another month before the next exciting thing happens. We're just adrenaline junkies. This is what entrepreneurs are. A lot of entrepreneurs just become adrenaline junkies chasing the next high. That's not sustainable, that's not healthy, and that's not ultimate happiness. You have to pair it with the fulfillment. When you can do both, that I'm chasing these big goals, these big dreams, or even something small I can do right now to get excited, and pairing it with what I do matters. This is fulfilling to me. This is going to make a difference in somebody's life. That's where I think you have long-term, sustainable, healthy forms of happiness. The good news is both of them you can accomplish right now. At any point in time, you could choose to help somebody. You could choose to go serve somebody, right? At any point in time. It could be, helping those people put the groceries in their car, right? They could go help them, or take the shopping cart and put it away for them. Random act of kindness. It could be going to somebody's YouTube comments and leaving a nice message. Think about a creator that you like to follow, somebody else that you subscribe to, who maybe doesn't have as big a following. Go leave a nice message. How long does it take you to do? Right? 18 seconds? You just made a difference in somebody's life. Right? Responding to somebody who follows you on Instagram and saying, hey, thank you for following me on Instagram. I really appreciate you. That's how I built my Instagram following. I'd be sitting here at a Costco, individually messaging people who followed me to say, hey, Rick, hey, Susan, hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for following me. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Send. Next. Right? 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 15 seconds at a time. You can choose at any point to be happy.
How to not procrastinate. Best way I found is you create a calendar. So you create a calendar and you put in your calendar the habits that will lead you towards success, right? So you have ideas for what you want to create, amazing. None of that happens until you create into actions, right? It's the actions and the habits that you do every day that lead you towards your dreams. Otherwise, they just remain hopes and dreams. So this would not be happening if it was not in my calendar, right? I had to schedule this in. I want to walk outside for 3 hours a day. Great. Well, when is that going to start? If I did not put it in my calendar, I would not be out here doing this. And so step one is you create a calendar that maps to your ambitions, that are the habits, that if you follow those habits, you'll move closer to your goals, your business goals, your personal goals, your relationship goals, your finance goals. Are you doing the work? Is it in your calendar, right? Step one. And then step two is you teach yourself that you do what's in your calendar. We're eliminating the thought process behind it, because procrastination is your brain gets in the way, right? Your brain is telling you, oh, I'll do it later. I can't do it now. I'm not smart enough, or I need to do some research first. Like your brain gets in the way. So the way to shortcut the brain is you create the calendar and then you do what's in your calendar. So you create the calendar when you're feeling bold and courageous and you come with a new goal. It's like so exciting. Great. Don't just sit in that excitement and don't just go researching. Plop in your calendar how you're going to keep this consistently happening in your life so that you don't just get this momentarily burst of energy and then you fall back down. Right? So you put it in your calendar how you're going to sustain this action. How I got this, I was at an event 2 weeks ago, and I got this idea that I'm going to start walking outside. And it started off as 2 hours a day. Then last week became 3 hours a day. This week continuing 3 hours a day. It's great to get an idea. How many times you got an idea at an event or watching a video? You get some great idea. Awesome. If you just do it once, it's not enough. How do you maintain the consistency? How do you turn it into a habit? Don't wait for you to feel motivated. It has to go into your calendar. So I pop this into my calendar. And then when I wake up and I look at my calendar, I do it to my calendar. So you eliminate the brain from the process and therefore eliminating the procrastination. So you create your calendar when you're feeling bold and courageous and on top of the world and unstoppable. Maybe like right now, you're getting some energy, go put something in your calendar. And then when you wake up, you do what's in your calendar. Do those two things. It'll change your life.
There is always a way. 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 When you feel stuck, when you feel hopeless, when you feel like the world is against you and you've got big, ambitious goals, remind yourself there is always a way. There is always a way. Entrepreneurship is always about how resourceful you are instead of the lack of resources. This is where people get caught up. You wish you had more money, you wish you had a different education, you wish you had different parents, you wish you lived in a different country. You're so focused on the things that are not going right in your life instead of focusing on what can I do with what I do have. There is always a way. Wife has to go shopping on filming day? Great, I'll film in the car with Timo. Hi Timo, high five. Woo. Good boy. He's so cute. Business shuts down. My dance studio closes down because of COVID. Great, move online. Like there's always a way. I was telling my friend Mark about how I got the Honest Company for my book, Your One Word. So I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't know how long ago. How long ago? When did Your One come out? Doesn't matter. I wanted to get the Honest Company because they built their business around their one word, honesty. And they were, $100 million plus company, wanted to interview them. There was only one big problem. I didn't know them. I had no connection in. And I wrote in and I didn't hear back. And I really, really wanted the company. So there's always a way. Remind yourself, there's always a way. So what I did was I wrote to TechCrunch. And TechCrunch at the time was the biggest blog / website / news site for the tech industry. And I said, hey, I messaged the managing editor, who I did not know either, right? Just cold out of the blue, said, hey, I'm writing a book and I'd love to do an interview with the Honest Company. And if I did an interview with the Honest Company, would you publish it? And we're going to talk about these topics. And he said, yes. I just interviewed the managing editor out of the blue and he said, yes. Great. Now I can go back to the Honest Company and say, hey, I want to do an interview with you for my book and for TechCrunch. And that got me in the door, right? And that led to me doing the interview and flying to California and meeting Christopher Gavigan, who's an amazing human, and doing the interview and getting my book done. And so I didn't know the Honest Company. I didn't know TechCrunch. I had no connections in. But you remind yourself, there's always a way. And that's how you do it. You find a way. What can you do with what you do have right now? How can you be a resource? How can you be an asset? How can you help the people around you so that you can move closer to accomplishing your goals as well? So how do you do it? It's easy to say, great, Evan, you don't understand me. I'm stuck in the situation right now. How do I get out of it? Everybody's against me. I tried everything. And it's not working. How do I get out of it? It's a couple things you need to do. Number one, if you are stuck kind of in the middle of it, if you are stuck feeling overwhelmed, feeling it's not possible, feeling just you've tried everything and you're gonna give up, step number one is you have to take a break from where you are right now. Go outside, go for a walk, breathe, meditate. Because when you're in the lowest of the low, me saying be more resourceful, there's always a way, you can't actually hear it. You're not ready for the message yet because you're too low. This is why a lot of us, when we're trying to help other people, the people around us, and telling them, you're gonna make it, you can be great, they can't hear it because they're too low. So you have to get them back to normal state. You have to get yourself back to a normal state. So that comes from some getting outside your environment right now. Go for a walk, get some fresh air, do some breathing, meditate, pray, like whatever you need to do to get back to a normal state. So you're not a depressed human, but you can actually be open and receptive to a message.
It's only a failure if you quit. It only counts as a failure if you stop. If you've got a big goal, a big dream, a big ambition, and you want to chase it down and it doesn't work out on the first try or the second try or the third try, if you keep going, eventually you'll figure it out. This is the path of all successful entrepreneurs. Like if you keep going, you keep putting one foot in front of the other, eventually it will work out. It's why a lot of entrepreneurs will preach patience, because most people quit too soon. Most people, they overestimate what they can get done in a short amount of time and underestimate what they can get done over a long amount of time, and they just quit too soon. You don't allow enough time for momentum to actually take hold. And so it's only really a failure if you stop. People ask me about my videos and my YouTube channel, and there's a couple angles on this. The first is how long it took me to get going. If you look at my growth and my channel, my homepage, you can see how long it took me to get going. It took 5 years and I still had 7,000 subscribers or something like that. And the only thing that I had going for me was that I just did not stop. I was introverted and shy. I still am. I didn't know how to make videos. I was very uncomfortable in front of the camera. I was completely embarrassed by my own stuff. The first 350 videos I couldn't watch back. Couldn't watch myself back. I was too critical of myself, too embarrassed that I was putting this out, too hard on myself that it wasn't good enough and that I wasn't delivering value, and just nitpicking myself so many times on the videos that I just couldn't watch them back. 350 videos, public videos on my channel before I was not just completely embarrassed by myself. And then 700 before I inspired myself. Like, oh, you know what? I'm like, that was pretty good. I have one that I'm happy with after 700 public videos. So most people just quit too soon. The only thing I had going for me, I didn't have the skills, I didn't have the personality, I was not funny, I didn't have the editing capabilities, I didn't have the camera, the technical capabilities. The only thing I had going for me was that I kept going. I had the heart, I wanted to serve, and I just kept going. I just kept creating, I just kept making, and now we're here. You know, started from the bottom, now we're here. Now we're here. But it took a long time to get going. And most people who probably have more natural abilities, more camera presence, more humor, more fun, they could have been way ahead of me. Not that it's a competition, but they could have had success, but they didn't because they stopped. They quit. Self-confidence comes from doing difficult things. Self-confidence, self-love, self-respect, it all comes from deciding to do something difficult. Here's what happens when something hard comes up and you find a reason why you can't do it. It's too hard, it's too difficult, it's too scary. Most people will let you off the hook. The people around you will say, yeah, that's way too hard. I mean, the fact you even thought about it was crazy. You let yourself off the hook. But then you realize, I could have done it. You know, like that's the worst feeling in the world, that you could have done something, but then you came up with an excuse as to why you can't. And that will eat you up. And even if the world lets you off the hook, recognize that they have lower standards than you. Recognize that the people who are giving you that advice and patting you on the back and saying it's okay, you don't need to do it, they don't like their life either. They're stuck. They're trapped. They're not pushing hard. They're not being aggressive for their goals. They're not tough either. And we're reinforcing that comfort loop. Every day, comfort you versus growth you are in a fight. There's a war going on inside you. Comfort you versus growth you. Comfort Evan versus growth Evan. Every day, there's a fight. There's a battle. There's a war going on. And you need to decide who's going to win the fight. It's a daily thing. And the more growth you wins against comfort you, the more you start to grow. The more you start to hit your goals. The more you start to have an impact. The more you start to love yourself. Because again, even if the world will let you off the hook, you know it's just an excuse. I think most people think of it as a giant step that you have to take to build that self-confidence. It's not. I think it's much more about the daily battles with yourself that then builds up to major things. Just like you don't go to the gym and lift 400 pounds, you start by lifting 5 pounds or 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 40 pounds, whatever it is. That's how you start to build the muscle. It's much more about the daily building of the muscle to show yourself who you are, much more than the one-off heroic moments. You can get great at almost any skill. Almost any skill you could get great at if you wanted to. If you dedicated yourself to practicing, if you dedicated yourself to modeling success, if you dedicated yourself to doing it, you could get great at almost any skill. Now, where people go with this is the extreme. Like, well, I can't become, a 7-footer in the NBA. Like, okay, great. If you're 5'2", you might not be able to be a 7-footer in the NBA, right? but just think about it. Think about your goals. Think about your dreams. Think about where you want to go. What you want to do is possible. Stop looking at all the rare exceptions of how you can't do it, and instead focus on how you can. Where we struggle is because the things that we need to get great at, we probably aren't very good at. This is a really big deal for entrepreneurs because you're probably good at some things. You're probably naturally good at some things, or you had some training, or your parents put you into classes and you developed a skill set at something, but you may not like that thing. Like this is the trick. We're good at things that we don't like doing. You're probably really good at a lot of things that you don't want to actually now commit the rest of your life to doing. And so this creates the dilemma. This creates an entrepreneur's dilemma. We should name it something. Maybe it's the entrepreneur's dilemma, where you have two choices. You either focus on what you're good at, that can get you paid, that can get you a job, that can maybe even have you start your business. You're good at it, you can get paid doing it, but it is not something you enjoy. And the more you do it, you slowly start to lose your soul. It slowly starts to be life-sucking for you. Like, imagine this thing that you're good at that you don't like doing. Just imagine, you close your eyes, you're daydreaming. Imagine that you had to do this thing for the next 40 years of your life. How much would you hate your life if you keep doing those things? So it's that, you keep doing the things that you're good at, but you don't like, versus the things that you want to be good at, that you really love, but right now, you suck at it. That's the hardest thing for people. It's like, you want to get good at this other thing. That's where your passion is. That's where your heart is, but you don't have the skills yet. And so a lot of entrepreneurs is where they quit. It's where a lot of you will quit. You'll quit, you'll stop because you're not good at it. It's like, oh, wow, I suck at it. And so I guess I'll never be good at it. And so then you don't do it. Where all you need to do is flip it to say, okay, I don't suck as a human. I'm not good at the skill set yet, but I can get good at it. How do I get good at it is by practicing. When I first started making videos, everything is against me, right? If you look at who I was, where I came from, my personality, my thought process, everything was against me for making videos. So let me break it down. Let me actually take you into the early days of Evan Carmichael making YouTube videos. I am shy. I am introverted. I don't like disappointing people. I have no need to be famous. I don't like the spotlight. I actually would rather be at the back of the room instead of, on stage. All of this doesn't sound good for somebody who's then gonna go make videos. Turning on the camera terrified me. I'm filming here in a parking lot, right? Or my wife is shopping at Costco there. I would never be able to do this. There's people walking by. This would freak me out. I would say, who's that crazy guy in the car doing that thing? On paper, I guess everything looked like it was against me. I made a video because I had this idea to make a video because I'm a visual learner. I think your purpose comes from your pain. I struggled so much as an entrepreneur. I wanted to make the road a little bit easier for other entrepreneurs. And so I made one video. And it was not the greatest experience. I was terrified. I was sitting down, I was in a suit, I was nervous, I was memorizing a script because I was so worried that I was gonna say the wrong words and people wouldn't like my video. They can go back and watch that first one I did on Walt Disney. And it took a day or whatever to make this one short video. And I'm not even on camera for most of it. Most of it is me doing an audio because I could read it. I wanted to read the script. I had the perfect script, and there was B-roll on top of it, and there was very little of me actually on camera. But even those few lines I had on camera, I was terrified, and I was trying to memorize, and I was sweating, and it was funny. Sitting down in a suit, all that was hilarious. I wasn't very good at it. But there was something about it that I just liked. I liked it. I liked the idea. None of it made sense, right? Again, there was no option to be YouTube famous. Nobody was YouTube famous in education in 2009 when I first started. It didn't exist. And my personality of being introverted, shy, all that did not lend itself well to being a personality. But for some reason, even though everything was seemingly against me on paper, I liked it. And I wasn't very good at it, but I thought, you know what, I can get better. I'm gonna keep doing this thing. And it took me, you could see my stats, and I post it often to my Instagram once a month. It's an update of how my channel's doing. From the first video that I posted, it took 5 years to get to 9,000 subscribers. 5 years to get to 9,000 subscribers. A lot of you guys are already way ahead of that after your first year of just making content. You're already ahead. And then I went 5 years again from the 9,000 to 2 million. See, there's a person next to me right now. Try to film her. This would freak me out. I'm gonna be filming here, making a video where this person's right next to me. How is she judging me? What is she thinking? What is she doing? I'd get super distracted and I wouldn't be able to film content. So it took me 350 videos until I wasn't completely embarrassed by myself. Embarrassed, like I couldn't watch back my own videos. They were too painful to watch. I would look at it, I would judge myself, I would criticize myself, I would say, man, you're still not very good. I would find a million things that was wrong with the video. Just so many things that I was not happy with. 350 public videos, guys, 350. And then it took 700 videos until I inspired myself, until I watched it back. I said, man, you know what? I'm starting to get decent at this. There's something there. Maybe I have a future here. 700 public videos later, it's crazy. So what kept me through it? What kept me consistent? How did I keep going? Because the mission, yes, of wanting to help serve entrepreneurs, but also I liked it. I liked the process of doing it. There was something, again, even though it didn't make sense, for someone like me to do it, I liked it. It was fun. And so I kept going. And now we're over 10,000 videos later, still making content, still doing it, and not burning out because I like the process. If you love what you're doing, you're not going to burn out. As entrepreneurs, we're mission driven, right? You want to solve a big problem. You want to make a huge change in the world. So remind yourself of what the mission is and how grateful you are to be on this path. Even if you're not where you want to be yet, you're not doing what you want to do fully yet, but you never are there. When you hit that goal, you want a bigger goal, and I think that's great. So you're on your journey, and you're much more fulfilled on that journey than you used to be, compared to who you used to be. Compare your life to where you were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. The awareness, the education that you've gone through, the purpose, the heart that you've now discovered and tapped into on a deeper level. For me, I'd be thinking about helping entrepreneurs. I get to every day wake up and help entrepreneurs. I get to make videos, I get to make content, I get to influence people, I get to try to help 18-year-old Evans out there who's struggling with their first business, right? For you, what's your big mission? And how can you tap into it and feel it? And it may not have to take too long to do it, but just close your eyes and actually feel that you touch somebody's life. Again, it may not be the scale that you want. It's never the scale that you want, but you touch somebody's life. If one person left a comment on your video, if one person left a thumbs up on your post, you touched one person's life. Tap into what that feels like, that you had a meaningful impact on them today.
I have a list of beliefs that I read every morning. Every single morning I have it written on my computer, I pop it up, and these are the lists of beliefs and values that I want to remind myself of, that I want to live today and every day. And I find that reminding myself of it in the morning helps make sure that I actually follow through on it during the day. And so one of those things that I read to myself every morning is that work is play. one of the beliefs that I want to espouse on a daily basis is that work is play. That work isn't just work. That work isn't a place to go and die. Work isn't a place to go and struggle. And yes, work is a lot of hard work, right? Work is a lot of a grind. Work is a lot of getting stuff done and checking a lot of things off the list, right? You want to be productive and feel like you're creating meaningful value in the world today, but it doesn't have to suck. Like, work can be fun. And it's partly enjoying the work, having passion for what you're doing, right? Doing something that you feel is meaningful, but also just having fun with it. And so if I look at some of the things that I do, in our office environment, I had Alex and Lily over and they started breaking out into a song.
Row your boat gently down the stream. Row your boat gently down the stream.
And in the morning when I'm making videos for my book, you'll see me on Snapchat with, rabbit ears or raccoon ears or some fun filter on it. And fun is different to each person, right? I'm not the guy who's going to be out cracking jokes. That's maybe more Alex's style. But the point is that you're doing the things that you can express your creativity through, that you are having fun with. If you are on your way to your office, whether your office is your basement or your home office or an actual office where you have your employees and team members, if you're on your way to go and do work and you are dreading it, it's like, oh, another day. And it's like, it feels like the world is beating you down. You're not going to create great work. Like, if you feel like you have to just plow through a whole bunch of crap every day, it's not going to feel fun. You're not going to create an amazing experience. And so if you can approach it with, how can I have fun today? It's just asking that question. How can I make this fun? It's not by taking breaks, right? It's not by doing something in between to break up the crap, right? It's not, okay, I'm gonna grind through this for 2 hours, and then I'm gonna take a celebration and go grab a coffee and then come back and I'm gonna grind out some more. It's like, how can you make the grind fun? How can you inject fun into the actual process so that you are enjoying the process? Because if you can get to that point, it's not that every single minute of every day is gonna be amazing, but if you get to that point where work is play, where work is fun, you're not just gonna have more fun, but it's gonna show in the result as well. It's going to show in what you create. You're going to create better things. It's going to add more value. It's going to help you grow your business much more than if you go to work every day feeling like the world is crushing you down.
My question is marketing. Last year, I did an online somatic breath work and I didn't really know how to market. And I only have one person show up. People don't know who I am yet. So you have any tips on how to market in person for live events and online?
So the fastest way, if you want to fill it up, is through partnerships. Unless you got a big ad budget that you're going to start spending, it's partnerships. Whose space are you doing it out of?
The gym I go to.
Can you put flyers up in the gym?
Yeah, I can.
The people who are going to come to your event, they're paying you to come to the workshop.
Yes.
Could the gym help promote it and take a cut?
Yeah, I'm sure I can work with her, yeah.
If they email it to their list, then they get a commission.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe they don't even need a commission. Maybe they'll just do it for you.
Yeah.
Can you go and be at the front of the gym for the week before and talk to people as they come in and have flyers and share about the workshop that you have coming up? Have an announcement board you can put something up on. It's like, how can we use the location to help promote? Because there's foot traffic coming in every day. There's people coming to the gym every day. How can we help get our message to them and incentivize the gym? Maybe they do it because they just love you. Maybe they do it because you're renting space. Maybe they do it because they're making a cut. All of the instructors, all of the people who are, personal trainers there, getting to know them so that they're saying in the class potentially that you've got this thing coming up. So that's the easiest one. Next, you go to all of the local media, the local newspaper, the local Facebook groups, the local whatever, and get to know the reporters. So you're in Eureka, California?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Like there's some newspaper for Eureka, California. That it's not like you're trying to get into the LA Times. You're trying to get into the Eureka newspaper.
Okay.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So what reporter is talking about the events in Eureka right now? Get to know her or him and let them know that you've got, because ideally this is an ongoing thing. It's not just this one event.
Yeah.
A weekly event. Right? So building those connections help.
That negative voice inside your head that's telling you that you suck and you can't do it, that's not your voice. That's not actually your voice. That's not you telling yourself that you suck. That voice was planted there. That voice was put there by somebody else in your life, and probably early on growing up telling you that you can't do something. You were not born. You didn't come out of the womb and say, I suck. I can't do anything. No, you're playing, you're experimenting, you're finding joy, you're laughing, you're doing it. And then along the way, people tell you that you can't do it, that you should stop, that you should quit, that it's not going to work out, that you can't do it. And we've been so conditioned around that we take it on and we think it's our voice. When you come up with an idea, right? Just workshop this. You come up with an idea. It's like, oh, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. I'm gonna launch this business. I'm going to whatever. You come up with your bucket list, your dream life, your vision board. You come up with a list of ideas, things that you think that you want to do, things that you feel confident that you'd love to create for yourself, right? Okay. What happens the next day? The next day, it's not even telling our friends. You know, I think we blame our friends and say, well, we tell our friends and they're going to be negative and they crap on our idea and so we don't do it. Well, before that happens, we crap on our own ideas, right? You look at that list the next day and say, I can't do that. Who was I yesterday? This crazy person that I used to be yesterday who thought I could do that. It's ourselves telling ourselves that we suck. But the problem is we've taken on that voice and we think that it's us. That's not your voice. That is not your voice telling you that you suck. That is somebody else's voice that was planted in your head, that has been conditioned to be there, that we're so used to being there that we have taken on as our voice. It has become your identity. But it was not your voice. It was put there. It was a seed that was planted that has been grown over time, and you need to rip that weed out. That is not your voice. You do not think that you suck. It's other people with low expectations who hate their own lives, who at some point went and tried something that did not work out for their life, and now nobody around them can have success because it makes them look and feel bad. And so they spend their time ripping other people down and apart. That's who planted that weed in your head. That might hit pretty hard. I hope it does. Because when that happens, if you can actually digest that, what ends up happening is you think, oh, whose voice is that? Whose voice is in my head? And that's great awareness, to know that it's not your voice, and then to identify whose voice it is. Who told you these things? Who made you feel this way growing up? And if you think about who that person is, if you can actually picture somebody, oh, that was Uncle Joe, or oh, that was my grade 3 teacher, oh, or that was my, the bully at school, whoever that person was. Now think about, okay, it's that person's voice, not you. That's already incredibly liberating. But then too, do you want to live that person's life? Like, think about that person. Probably they're not living a great life. They're not hitting their potential. They're not even happy with what they're doing. If somebody's spending their day tearing other people down, what kind of painful life does that person have to have when they go home? You don't want their life. If you don't want their life, then you definitely don't want their voice in your head anymore. Hopefully that creates an aha moment for you that starts to actually shift things, because we've been so conditioned to listen to that voice that we don't recognize that we actually have a choice to rip it out and start to listen to our own voice.
I would have been the guy who 10 years ago would have thought that's not possible for me. I'm this introverted, shy kid who just is not a type A personality and doesn't like networking and will never meet these people. So, step 1, consume their content. Even if you never meet these people, just having them around you daily allows you to start to shift and start to think like them. Allows you to start to adopt their mindset, because they're saying things that are different than the people in your life. John Asraf is saying something different than your parents, right? He's thinking a different way than your friends. He's thinking on a higher level than a lot of the people probably in your life right now. And so the more that you're around that virtually by watching videos, even if you never meet him, the more you start to think bigger, to have more ambition, to believe that it's possible. So part of your daily routine must be to consume the content of the people who inspire you to want to be bigger. That's why I make this Espresso video. That's why I make all of my content on all of my channels. But if it's not my videos, if it's books, if it's podcasts, something, it's got to be daily though. Just like you brush your teeth daily, you need to inject positivity and belief daily from people who are doing more than you, right?
brushing your teeth helps you with your dental hygiene. We need to work on our mental hygiene. It's really, really important because the mental hygiene will take care of itself in a negative way based off your current environment. If you are just constantly battling negativity around you or small-mindedness around you, and there's nothing that comes into your life that feeds you with hope and positivity and inspiration and the sense that you could do more, if there's nothing in that in your life right now, then you won't go off and do it. And so step one is to just be around the content every single day in micro doses every single day. My new routine right now is I go for a walk in the morning, and it's about 40 to 45 minutes in the morning, and I watch my own videos. I watch my top 10 videos while I go for the walk. So this morning I was watching Lewis Howe's video and a Gary Vee video that I made for my channel. And every time I do it, I pick up something new. It's a fantastic way to start my day. If you could start your day every day with Gary Vee or Lewis Howe's or John Assaraf or Oprah or Elon Musk or whoever, your life will change. It's why I do these Espresso videos. I want to give you the shot of Espresso every morning. Your life will change if you start your day every day with the people who inspire you. They will pull you up, and you don't notice it on a day-to-day basis. But if you look back a week, a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, if you did it every day for a year, holy cow, you will be a totally different person.
I think you're a tree. And I wrote about this in my book, Built to Serve. I think you're a tree. What does a tree do? A tree breathes in the carbon dioxide, which too much of for humans is poison. The trees will breathe it in. They'll eat it, they'll grow from it, and then they'll spit out oxygen, positivity for the world. I see that as part of our role as leaders and as entrepreneurs, is to eat other people's negativity, grow from it, get better from it, and then spit out more positivity, more oxygen for the world. Ultimately, the people who are negative in your life, you have an ability to influence them. You have an ability to help them see the positive road, not through your advice, but through your actions. By you going off and doing your thing will inspire other people to want to change their life as well. Whoever is more confident wins. And when you're around really negative people, if you are doubting your positivity, they're going to win. They're going to drag you down. But ultimately, the goal is to get so positive, so optimistic, so happy that you pull them up. That you're more positive, you're more certain in your positivity than they are certain in their negativity. And you pull them towards making a better life decision.
Try to be a person of value. Being a person of value means, what does this person care about? And how can you help support it? So if you're trying to be a person of value to me, what do I care about right now? You know, the easiest thing to do is look at my Instagram bio, look at my Twitter bio, look at the things that I'm promoting right now. Right now, I'm talking about Built to Serve a lot. It's still something I care deeply about. Right now, I'm talking about Movement Makers. I'm talking about Brandlytics. These are the programs that I'm launching that I care a lot about. So how can you help me with that? What is John Assaraf launching? Go look at his Instagram bio, his Twitter bio. What is he promoting right now? That's what he cares about right now. To be a person of value, you want to be the person's chief goal officer. What do they need right now? What are they promoting right now? What are their goals right now? And then finding some way to help them. Even if it's just being the best person in the comments, right? I have an amazing community. You guys are amazing. It's what makes me want to keep making content because of how fantastic you guys are. And there are some people who watch the videos and then never leave any comment. Leave comments, guys. There are some people who watch a video and leave a comment. And then there are the special few who watch a video, leave a comment, but then will also comment on the other comments. Not in a promotional way, not just saying, hey, check out my new channel. I've worked really hard on it. Let me know, sub for sub. But in a encouraging, positive, optimistic way, in just trying to cheer the other people on and supporting them. Those people are extra special. And there are some people who I would do the best that I could to try to support them. I get hit up every day with different promotional opportunities. Hey, Evan, can you link this up? Can you shout me out? Can you check out my business plan? And it's usually a no because I don't even know who you are. But there are other people who have brought so much value to my community that I would I would do my very best to try to help them because of how much they've helped me, even though they may not have ever bought anything that I've done, just because they were so valuable in the community, right? So that's your goal. Your goal is to be a person of value, to be the chief goal officer, and then be a person of value to them and their community. So they start to recognize you.
For too many of us, there's no deadline. When's the deadline on your dreams? When's the deadline to make your content? When's the deadline to actually execute things? For most of us, there's no deadline. You don't have a deadline. And so because you don't have the deadline, you allow yourself to procrastinate and to tinker and to make things perfect and to never release because there's no deadline. It doesn't matter enough. When I'm making videos, I have to make a certain number of videos every week for my channels. And there's a deadline. I have to get them done today. They have to get done today because tomorrow I'm doing something else and the next day I'm doing something else and I'm not touching my YouTube content again until next Tuesday. So if I don't get it done today, then my team doesn't have content to go off and create for the channels, and then I'm disappointing you. And it's been, I don't know, 7 or 8 years since we have not uploaded a video on one of our channels. Years. It's been years. Years of consistency. And that's how you start to build the machine, because there's a deadline, because it matters, because it's important today.
I'm here making videos for you because that's part of my routine. You know, I'm recording this on a Tuesday. Every Tuesday I make videos. 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 I made videos feeling sick. I made videos with no voice and I held up signs. I made videos with a concussion and a broken neck. I make videos. That's the difference between an achiever and a high achiever, is that you show up when everybody else would give you a break, when everybody else would say, take it easy, when everybody else would say, you're pushing too hard, when everybody else says, you're too obsessed. You say, no, I'm committed to my goals. I'm committed to making this happen, because you are what you consistently do. We tend to try to overcorrect things. If you have a goal of eating a certain number of calories or sticking to a certain weight, and you go and you binge one day, we tend to try to overcorrect to say, that's it, I'm going on a 24-hour fast. You know, I'm just not gonna eat anything for 24 hours. Or if your business, you let yourself down, you don't deliver, you don't promise, you don't follow through on the promises. You say you're gonna make videos for YouTube, and then you don't do it. And then the next day you wake up and say, I'm done with that, I'm gonna make 80 videos today, or whatever the number would be. We tend to try to do too much in the short run. And that's not where the gains are made. Right? You could go to the gym and have an amazing session, but if you're not consistently showing up to the gym, you're not going to get the results that you want. Same thing for the gym of life, the gym of business, the gym of your mindset. It's what you do consistently every single day. And that can sometimes be boring. And that can sometimes be that you're chasing the wrong thing, you're doing somebody else's routine instead of your own. But if you want to be a high achiever, if you want to show up for yourself, for your family, for the people around you, for your customers, for the people who know you can serve, you want to show up as your best self every day for them, the key is that you stick to your habits.
Have a reminder system in your life constantly. What are the things, because you're feeling it right now, hopefully if you're watching, you're feeling it right now, you're feeling excited right now, you're going to make a change right now, and then tomorrow you're going to fall back to who you used to be. So what do you need in your environment? What do you need in your habits and your daily routines to remind you? You need a reminder system so it can become more automatic, that it doesn't rely on your self-will and your discipline constantly, that it gets introduced to you constantly, whether that's YouTube videos. Hey, Espresso, 5 days a week, every morning. I'm here. Let's go. Here's a new video for you. If it's Ed Milet's channel or Tony Robbins' channel or Oprah Winfrey's videos, like whoever, or if it's books or podcasts, if it's your physical environment, if it's morning intention, like just figure it out for yourself and schedule it in. Schedule in the reminders. Schedule in the intentionality so that this doesn't just become a one-off moment, but that it's a daily reminder. It's a daily consistency. It's daily momentum, because you need that.
Because you made it this far in a video,
I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome. For 10 more amazing rules from Tom Bilyeu, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
1, reframe your thinking around AI. Do not see it as the enemy. See it as a tool. You're not going to be replaced by AI, at least not yet. You're going to be replaced by a human using AI.